the Cardini change. So most of you probably already know how to do this, but I'm going to teach it anyway, only because a few of you have been asking about what controls I like to use, and one of my favourite controls I do all the time, you need to know how to do the Cardini. So I'm going to teach Cardini change first, and then in a few days I will teach my Cardini control, I call it. So you might learn something new with today's video if you already know the Cardini change. I'm going to go through my handlings, a few tips and a routine around it as well. So first of all, let's have a look at a performance of the Cardini colour change. So that is the Cardini colour change. Now the basic principles of the Cardini change is you're kind of holding a mechanic's grip, and you're going to have to build some strength on your pinky finger and ring finger to be able to pull a card in that position. You're going to have to start off with, just practice that motion of pulling with the two fingers, mainly the pinky though, to pull a card down. Once it's in this position, you've got the cover of this hand to be able to push it down and bring it to the bottom of the deck. So that is the very basic movement of the Cardini change. We're dragging it down into this position here whilst it's under cover. Now we're going to have a look at how to stop other cards popping up. So if you just do that, you'll get that motion quite often, or you'll drag a few cards from the top. So let's have a look at how to stop that. The way we can stop those cards popping up a few at a time is by just altering our grip very slightly. Also, using older cards can help, as long as they're not too sticky that they're going to stick to each other. Certainly easier with older cards compared to newer cards. So with the grip, we've got this position down now, perfect. We are going to have our thumb at the top left and our pointer finger on the top right. Just applying a little bit of pressure, you're kind of pushing down very, very slightly with both those. That is going to be too much. It is just the slightest bit of pressure. That way, when you drag that card back, because those fingers are holding the pressure, you can stop the other cards from flying out, and then you can control that card to the bottom. So now start to practice that movement where you've got pressure from here and on here, and you can bring one card at a time. And also practice taking it to the bottom just like that. That doesn't matter if you can or can't do that, that's just an extra bonus, little boost. You can do that. If you can't bring it to the bottom, that's when the hand for the coverage comes into great position. So now you've got that feeling of only taking one card to the bottom, or one card from the top flicking motion. This hand going to be really important. So when you make that flick motion, so like that, the card goes into this position. From this angle, you're blocking the spectator's view. Obviously from this and this, very sensitive, but you can now put pressure on your right hand to drag that card to the bottom of the deck and then square everything up. So nice and simple, nice and basic. So as a colour change, you're going to have the cards shown as normal. You can show everything. Get your grip position, applying a bit of pressure on the top corners. As your hand comes across, you're going to drag that card down. You get your super visual colour change. Then you just square it at the bottom. I like to then grab the cards from this position underneath with my thumb just to get a full rotation, and I know everything's going to be square. So in speed it will look like that, and all I've done is put that card at the bottom. Okay, so now you know the basics of the Cardini change. We can build a routine around it. So a nice basic routine would be get the spectator to choose any card they want, and all you got to do is grab a break. So for explanation purpose, I'm just going to stick my pinky finger there, pretend I'm closing the deck. When I grab the cards, I've now got a massive break here, and we're going to do a double undercut, which is taking half the cards from that break and then taking the rest of the cards from that break. That controls their card back up to the top. From this position you can then grab your double lift, so however you want to do it, whether you want a pinky count, whether you want to do a strike double, whatever you feel comfortable for a double lift, but you're grabbing two cards as one. Let's do that properly now. So get your strike double, you turn those over, get your grip position, and then as you do the Cardini chain, it changes to a spectator's card, and they can fully examine that, and that other card will go face down at the bottom as normal, and you come up completely clean. So that's a nice basic routine with the Cardini change. So that's it guys, really quick one on the Cardini change. I hope it was quick anyway, it didn't seem like it dragged. I know some of my videos do drag a little bit, but I want to explain it in detail that you guys can understand fully. So the next video is going to be the Cardini control that I use all the time. For those of you who have been asking me what control I like to do most of the time, and it's a Cardini control. So I'll see you again in a few days.